Hey, it's me, Miss Husky. It's getting towards the end of the day here. Sun's starting to set. I've got a lot of information that I'm going to share with you about how to do a research paper, but I'm not going to do it all in one giant video because obviously I don't want to bore you. It is research after all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of walk you through just a few little resources that I have already curated for you, and then later on, we're going to talk about citing our sources. I'm going to walk you through AVL and all of those components that you need to have for this particular research project. I'm going to be there every step of the way. So, first of all, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. I'm gonna take care of you. Okay. Um, the easiest way I can tell you to get to my curated list of links is from the homepage. If you go to academics, just click on academics. I've got it set up to where you don't even have to scroll down to media center anymore. In this left margin navigation menu, if you go to library links, this is where you will see the student assembly webmix. This folder right here, I've got a lot of information, ABL, MLA, OWL Purdue, that's for citing and sources and stuff. I've got some other sources for graphic citation. Okay, so if you look right here where you see this Just Mercy folder, let's click in there, and these are some of the links that I've already curated for you. I'm going to kind of walk you through each one of these. Well, not every one of them. I mean, you can watch the TED Talks and videos all on your own, but I'm going to kind of walk you through a couple of them just so that you can see how to navigate them for your topic. So this first one, ProCon.org, love this one. Love it. So kind of scroll down here a little bit. You've got some issues, controversial issues by topic. Then you can look at individual topics. But if you look over here, your topic, death penalty, is in the most popular column. So we're going to go ahead and click on that one. So keep in mind, this topic is so incredibly broad that they had to narrow it down and a little bit further by these particular categories. So if you look at some of these little topics, forms of execution, does it death penalty cost less than life in prison without parole? I think that's also one of your topics that you can research. Prosecutorial misconduct. So let's just let's look at that one. These are some specific legal considerations. So they give you kind of an overview. And then with this procon.org site, they give you pros and cons that they're all cited. And so you have to have that in this particular project. You want to make sure that you have equal for and against arguments. And so this site is great for helping you kind of see both sides of an issue. Sometimes we have a tendency to be pretty biased in our own, and we can only see one side, but we want you to see both of them. Something else, they give you some additional topics that you can look at. But if you look right here where it says the top 10 pro-con arguments, it gives you the top 10 about should the death penalty be allowed. And a lot of these actually coincide with your topics list. So, for example, number 9, attorney quality. So you get just one of the pro and cons here. But if you click on that title, that little hyperlink, it takes you to the full pro-con list. And so this particular topic has four different pros and cons. So for each side in favor, there is an equal and opposite side. It's almost like one of Newton's laws of physics. Yes, I do know a little bit about physics. Something else, though, I really want to show you this particular chart. I talked about it earlier. The death row inmates. This chart takes you from death mate executions 1953 to 2017. Keep in mind that this was last done nationally in 2017. So it gives you like the number of inmates, the total number executed, and the percentage. Then, if you notice that this last column, time from sentence to execution, they don't have any data except the one guy that was executed in 1977. He was only on death row for 3 months. Keep in mind, 1977. Scroll down, and then you look at the average. So in 2017, that's 40 years later, you guys, it's quick math. It took an additional 20 years and 3 months. That's on average. But you're looking at the number of inmates that were actually put on death row versus the number who were executed. So notice that the percentage is actually, by comparison, has gone down. All of this information is from the U.S. Bureau of Justice and Statistics. Now, keep in mind, that one's also one of your sources. So this one that says BJS, the Bureau of Justice and Statistics. Okay, here is that particular website, Bureau of Justice Statistics. One of the easiest ways that I have found, there's several different ways to get to, from point A to point B. But if you click up here where it says topics, you don't actually click on it, you just kind of scroll over it. You've got capital punishment and all different types of information about courts, the victims, criminal justice data. But I'm going to look at corrections over here under federal. I'm going to look at corrections. Let's just see. So it gives you like an overview about this particular topic, and then it gives you some publications. And you really want to watch the dates on some of these publications. They do it in reverse chronology. So the most recent is from 2015, 2016. You can get the summary, but I would opt for the full report. Keep in mind, it's only a couple of pages, and it gives you some basic information, a lot of charts and statistics that will help you with that portion of your research project. So just to give you an example, this one is the Federal Justice Statistics 2015, 2016, kind of highlights, and then you get these tables. And in case you didn't kind of understand, they give you some definitions of major offense categories. So if we go back to our ProCon.org, keep in mind that there are multiple topics that you can look at. States with death penalty and states with death penalty bans. That gives you kind of that map and explains there are actually some states now, these are pretty hot topics, that are authorizing death penalty for additional crimes, most of which is treason. Just almost sounds like we're back in the 1700s. All right, back to our library links page. So we've talked about ProCon.org, the Bureau of Justice Statistics. You know this one, Equal Justice Initiative. That one, of course, is in your book. And it talks about the Innocence Project, the National Criminal Justice. Look at this one. I kind of like this website, pretty good. It's a reference. And so you've got all these different topics. Again, I'm going to look at corrections. So when you look at crime and all these other kinds of topics, it kind of takes you down a different rabbit hole. So I wanted to kind of throw this out. Now keep in mind, here are the topics too. So you don't actually have to go back home. If you wanted to change topics, you can go right here, talking about the justice system. Programs and initiatives. Let's say that you were looking at exonerations, or you wanted to look at the possibility of people re-entering society. There's the Reentry Resource Center. This is a program initiative that talks all about this kind of re-entry and some of the latest, notice it's reverse chronology, some of the latest articles that will help you. And so this one is from, about a month ago. And that's kind of some very current, about as current as you can get, information that can help you, again, with your particular project. Just depending on, whatever topic you're choosing. So this one is pretty good. Death Penalty Information Center, or DPIC. I want to look here. I mean, you've got facts and research, executions, death row, those kinds of things, but the policy issues. So I know that mental illness was one of your, and intellectual disability. Those were some. Is it a deterrent? That was another one. Talking about juvenile offenders. So if you click here and go to juveniles, it gives you this overview. Of course, I love this. These are the facts at issue, and then some specific information. These are articles, news articles. And so look at the date on this one. That one is a little bit older, but this is from July and June of this year. And that's some additional information. So it's very specific information. If you look over here, death row, you've got conditions. I know that there was one of the topics was talking about all the harsh conditions, just horrible. So this gives you some information about that and some additional articles. This one is just from a couple of weeks ago, talks about coronaviruses in prison. And that is like you're sparking some serious current events going on here if you start looking at that particular article, if that is the avenue that you plan to take with your research paper. So again, the Death Penalty Information Center, this is a really good website that you can get some statistics and some other factual information that can help you frame that argument a little bit better. The Sentencing Project, I don't know where my little icon went, but the Sentencing Project, this one is pretty good. I say they're all pretty good because I've gone through and looked at all of them. You talk about this campaign to end life imprisonment, different sentencing policies. Maybe there was one, I know there was one that was talking about women in prison, and there were actually several subtopics for that one. I love this infographic. It gives you like some infographics of specific information. So you've got all posts, news, publications, and stories. So let's say that you want to look at, what's the latest news that's going on, and it will just give you all this news. State advocacy. And so you just click on this link, and this one is from May. So this one is fairly current, talking about pandemic and advocating for prison conditions during COVID. So you've got all of these people that are, asking for early release, and then you've got some other statistics. And so these hyperlinks are taking you to the actual articles where they got that specific information. And so that is giving you not just here's like a little short bit of information about it, but this takes you to some additional resources that will help you. I liked it. I liked it pretty good. Okay, I've got one more to show you, and then I'm going to be done. Well, for now. So this one is the World Prison Brief. That's a mouthful, if you will. So the World Prison Brief, keep in mind that we're talking about worldwide. So if you click over here where it says the brief data, I want to go to North America, and I want to look at the United States of America. And so here you've got, this is pretty much an overview. And this comes from Bureau of Prisons. So that's a .gov. So that's really good. So that's actually taking you to the website where they garnered all of this information. Further information, see these links. I love this. So you've got news and reports. So these are very recent articles about like the release on tainted Bureau of Prison food. So this one's talking about some of those living conditions, internet access, talking about the numbers of talk about women in prison, harsher punishments than men. And so these are current articles that can help you. Resources, organizations right here, further information. I love the charts and that specific data. That's super. And especially if you're doing anything about women or females or moms in prison, this table is pretty helpful and will give you some fairly current data to help support your argument. So um, then again, there you go. So 5 facts about the death penalty. This one is just an article from the Pew Research Center, but know that you can also go up here and search information about women in prison, the death penalty, execution, exonerations, um, youth offenders, however you want to frame your narrative. So that can give you some statistical information that could potentially help you. So, all right, that's all I got for you right now. I'm going to take you through AVL in the next video, and we're going to go from there. So, good luck. If you have questions, you know where to find me. You know that you can email me, you can message me, however you need to. All of my information, again, is on Bob Jones' webpage, on the website. Holler at me if you need help because I'm going to be here for you.